They do have immense amount of single target on Dreammaker, so any illusion base is great, but he's not an ancient clearer like the Clinks. I, for mine, was really hoping they went Sven just for the bonus Warcry armor, because Dreammaker are all physical. Like, it is just a plethora of physical damage that they're going to be outputting, and the fact that you don't have a way to amp up not only yourself and your team to protect you is a little bit worrying. That's why I thought the Sven might have some priority, and to help them tank Ancients. PL can get to that stage, but not at a rapid rate like the Clinks can. But you know, if PL gets to the stage where he can have the items, then they don't have the answer to him at the moment.
My concern for Dreammaker is that there's no one that's like an amazing Aegis carrier on their lineup, and it feels like this is a team that,
yep,
if you draft this much minus armor and you've got the task with tag team, you need to be taking Roche, right? So, you know, maybe you can give it over to the Clinks and it feels kind of all right, but Clinks is so squishy that if you're dying once, you're probably dying again. You know, whereas if you pick something like, I don't know, what do they got remaining? I was about to say a Lesh, but Yangon, they've gotten rid of that. What even is there left that can potentially be played in that role in the mid lane? I mean, Storm's not awful. Ember Spirit's not awful.
10 seconds remaining.
They might ban out
5
Ember.
seconds remaining.
They don't have last pick. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Okay. You need.
I mean, it's against a PL, right? So
you have to go AoE magic damage. You have to with this pick. Otherwise, Yangon just will itemize for armor. That's the only thing they'll do. And it can get to a stage where you want as much. You want to go. You don't want to go down the rabbit hole of just all one damage output, because then it can just give the enemy team an easy way to itemize against it. You want to be as versatile as possible. So, is there anything that's standing out?
It's been removed, right? There's no Coddle, there's no Lesh, there's no Ember Spirit, there's no Puck, there's no Invoker. Storm, alright, I mean, it's a good Aegis carrier. I was just thinking about more like, what is going to be a good Aegis carrier, plus what's going to deal with PL. And, you know, Storm is not amazing at it compared to the likes of a Leshrac or an Ember Spirit. So, it's probably the next best thing that was available there. I don't mind it at all.
Are there any matchups that you feel like Storm might struggle into for Gangon if they can pick up?
They've got a Lina, but I don't know if you want to be picking Lina into a Tusk lineup as well. You're so vulnerable to being ganked super early on, especially with a Tidehunter being there in the side lane. So, what else is there? Not even a Bat Rider, right? Like, I feel like if you're picking Bat, it needs to be against something that's not going to be happy to just pick up a magic stick and sustain in lane. Like, you can just spam out those static remnants if you do.
Queen. You may now select
Cop's not bad. You can sustain. If a Tusk goes on you, you can just blink away before the tag team gets through. You're probably going to catch a couple of hits, but not enough to kill you. I don't hate it. And it is something that you can scale well-ish on. You know, like you're going to get out of the lane in probably a better state than you would have in 9.29.
Yeah.
Is it going to be enough though? Like, Beastmaster's great at taking towers, but basically no one else on the lineup is. That's my concern.
Like you said, Quap can scale and he can get to the stage where he can be like a tower sieger, but they don't really need him to fulfill that role this game. I mean, mid matchup should go pretty well. I think he was already a pretty strong laning stage hero. They just amplified that even more. And Storm has never had the greatest matchup into the Queen of Pain, and is also himself very reliant on being rotated on. So I think we'll see a lot of emphasis on both Trezam and Skill A with how they can, you know, put their stamp on the early game, and especially the mid lane as well, if those rotations can come through. But how are we feeling about this draft? Are we favoring either of the open qualified teams? Which one do we like?
Honestly, it looks pretty even. My concern is around like how you're going to deal with Beastmaster once he starts, like if he gets a good lane, right? Like at Tusk, does not deal well with split push. Venge does not deal well with split push. You don't really want a Clinks there being vulnerable because then you can just get jumped on by all of their really aggressive heroes. Tidehunter, I guess he kind of can, but even then he is still vulnerable with all of the burst damage that they have. So I'm probably going to be mildly favoring Yangon here.
Okay. Is there the timing though that Dreammakers can look for to utilize their lineup and utilize all of their minus armor? Like, is there anything they can overrun Yangon before the PL comes online?
I mean, potentially, right? It is all about taking those first few key objectives, right? And what is the success rate going to be for a lot of these early rotations? Again, the Queen of Pain is one of those heroes that can just get out of it. Even though a Tusk might be able to roll in onto you, and you can combo it together with the Electric Vortex, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to be able to take him out. So if they can, that's a big win for them. And if they can take that mid tower and open up the Roche pit, then of course, you can get a lot of value out of a super early Roshan on a Storm Spirit. But if you're not accomplishing that, I'm just not quite sure about how you're going to stay in this game. Like, it's so much pressure that the Clinks is going to need to, or so much that the Clinks is going to need to do, right? Like, you can see he's already queued up his entire build for like the next 20 or so minutes. But that Maelstrom is only good with the Burning Barrage every 16 seconds to try and deal with a PL plus the Beastmaster and all of his creeps that you've got running at you. And in the meantime, you're going to have the Rolling Thunder, you're going to have the Rolling Boulder just coming straight at your face.
This is an interesting angle that Dreammaker pulling out here with this 5-man smoke, though.
It's a Tusk lineup, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to be doing anything you can to try and get a kill early on, but the boar in a good spot to be able to quickly scout it out as the smoke ends.
They not giving up any free experience or gold over the way to the die. That's always a big thing about the Beastmaster, with how much they do provide and can kind of give an offset that you wouldn't really expect to. Ooh. Nice shot.
Got him.
The battle begins.
Do you reckon, like, the movie Shazam? Do you reckon Trezam is like the same sort of
based off it?
Yeah, the same sort of emphasis. Like, whenever he kills someone, it's like, hey, Trezam.
Is that even a good movie? I've heard some mixed opinions.
Anything that Shaquille O'Neal does is great.
Okay. Well, you can't go wrong with Shaq. So, I mean, we'll see if it's based off it, then maybe Shazam has got the power. Speaking about kind of names, did Nevermind change his name? Do you want to have a crack at pronouncing the?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not touching that one with a 20-foot pole.
I'm like, yeah. We stick to Nevermind. Sounds easier than yeah, maybe you'll give it a crack as you go on, but mid lane, we already see that Rose not having too fun of a time here. How much emphasis is going to put on regen. Didn't go too heavy on the early itemization, really wanting the fast bottle timing just to keep himself afloat in the lane. There are any lanes that you feel like might be, the one that we should keep our eyes out for? Any lanes that you're expecting to go better than not?
I would be disappointed if this Queen of Pain didn't come out of the laning stage with a little bit of an advantage, especially if they're able to get the rotations coming through with the Earth Spirit once you get the Beastmaster to maybe level 3 or so. Where you can, not be too concerned that he might be looking to go down. The boar slow is going to be that much more effective, and you're a strength hero. You can be able to sustain fairly well, even against the likes of a Tusk.
It's mine.
Early rotation coming through from Lon, though.
Yes. PL feels like he's at a stage where deep underneath his T1 tower, they're not too pressured to try and bring down the Phantom Lancer. So this will force CZY to think about making a rotation just to protect Rose.
All right, we got a bit of a pause, and well, spikes do tend to happen, as we all know. Yangon Galacticos, they're playing from Myanmar, so our thoughts, of course, with them. Hopefully, things are getting better over there. It's always a bit of a rough situation to see anyone that's part of our community, undergoing any sort of stress.
See, there's a lot of love for them as well, and the chat as well. There's always people dropping the logo, so they have the fans out there that are always by their side, and we'll see if they're able to. They've always got it in their name as well. I see. Hopefully, hope for the best, and look into with the draft, be able to lead this momentum they've got backing from them, their supporters, and their lineup to potential victory here over Dreammaker. Like we were saying, of course, this is the two open qualified teams for anyone that's just tuning in. For Dreammaker, they've played two series so far. They won one Galaxy Racer. They got 2-0'd by Execration. And then for the side of Yangon Galacticos, they also played 2 series. They were able to tie versus SMG, and then they got 2-0'd first. Boom. So see if either team can try and get their first 2-0 victory on the board here for the Pro Series Season 8.
So I've had a quick look into it during our pause, and Nevermind's name is actually his surname, so his real life surname. So kind of like how Sumail is Sumail's real middle name. It's Chantabisuk, I'm assuming is what it is. But
You had
I
a
might
crack.
be wrong, completely wrong with the pronunciation. I mean, according to Google.com, his first name is Somsak, so I'm probably saying that wrong as well. But the Google result also shows a different spelling for the surname, so who knows? I assume it's close enough in similarity to be what we're thinking about. So maybe just wanting to how Kyle goes by Kyle now instead of Melons or Swindle Melons and all that. He wants to be called by something similar to his real name.
It's
It'd kind of be like if my high school friends called me Danog, for example. I'd be like, just don't do that. You know me as a real person, not my internet persona.
Trezam. Early rotation from the Tusk. We thought he might look to head mid, but he's wanting
to. The last punch with a Trezam.
That is how we do things in the north.
Forlorn giving up first blood here, and now it means that the Clinks is solo again. Though we're seeing the rotation when the position 1 is farming underneath the tower. He's going to be a little bit vulnerable though, so they didn't block the hard camp, so we'll give them an opportunity to reset the creep equilibrium.
Well, that's the sort of rotations that you need. He was able to pick up a few more sentry wards, so I wonder if Trezam is going to go and try. I'll do this all day. If he's going to do that specifically for the purpose of de-warding, looks like it is, to make sure that the Storm Spirit's able to able to salvage this lane a little bit, because Rose has fallen already nearly 500 gold behind the Queen of Pain with the amount of harass that she's able to put out.
Yeah, it's a tricky start. Do you feel like this has to just be all off the back of, 9 denies, 22 last hits. He's only 5 last hits behind, but there would have been so much emphasis spent on just the resources to play the lane.
Yeah, it's all the different healing pots and everything else that he would have had to have coming out to him does unfortunately take a toll on you. You still get your experience, but you do end up falling behind on the net worth a little bit here. And it's only just now at level 5 that the Queen of Pain opted to put the single point into the blink, because, Trezam decided to show his face, and there was always the threat that potentially could get gone on. So you don't want to get caught out without any kind of escape mechanism.
Wouldn't mind seeing the rotation from skill A, and it's going to come through as soon as I say that. A TP into mid, just to further make this game that much more difficult for Rose.
Even going to try and quickly push the wave into the tower as well, so that he can look to maybe make a bit of a rotation. I'm sure he'll use the time maybe to pick up that bounty rune. Oh, yeah, pinging it out. A little bit of damage to the tower. Yeah, and he immediately backs off. Level 6 now, by the way, on young PH versus the... well, he's reached level 5 now on the Storm Spirit while I was dead, just from the passive experience that you get from the every minute mark.
This ward... Just gonna scout out skill lay on the outskirts. Rose should be able to sidestep that with ease. In fact, he's gonna look to try and dish out a little bit of damage on skill lay, but won't be able to get that final blow.
I think he's even going to stick around and maybe go for this again, having popped the healing salve there. Lun came and joined in the mid lane, and need to at least bottle up this bounty rune to be able to try and make the play again here on Queen of Pain. But you've got Trezam sitting behind. He'll be able to claim that next bounty.
Skillay should be dead here. Rose, how long does he want to stick around for? Because it might cost him his life. Looks like he should nonetheless tick out to the dagger.
Oh, the deny!
Man, that is quite the play here from Dreammaker.
Oh no, and the roll. He's got the blink. All right. Still though, it's definitely a big, well, not necessarily a recovery for the Storm Spirit, but it just means the Quap isn't going to continue to snowball quite as hard. And with all of those rotations, it means that, oh man, Chantavisuk and, and Clinks up on the top side, CDR, they're going to be able to have more of a free game. You know, they can afford to do these things.
Oh,
you know, he's got
Queen of Pain.
How the hell?
You were out of your wits.
She already... I saw the tail end, so I'm not sure. Maybe they blinked on top of the tusk that blocked off the escape route, but okay. Well, for Dreammaker, they've really brought back Rose in the mid lane, and now all their side lanes are going exceptionally well. I mean, Nevermind's Tidehunter, 46 last hits. CDR for the Clinks has got 47 as well, so the net worth, both these side lanes, yeah, 1-2 in the net worth.
Looking fairly good. I mean, Beastmaster, he's keeping up somewhat. He's got the Helm of the Dominator picked up now as well, so he can look to put a lot more pressure on with the rest of his team. It's a little awkward though, you know, he's used all of his mana because of consistently spamming out those Call of the Wild Boars, and has just wanted to straight up rush that Helm of the Dominator, which means that doesn't have much in the form of mana regen. So you won't have the Primal Roar for any kind of engagement on that top side of the map.
Rose looking once again to bait the blink back. Trezam able to get in range to cancel that, however. Continuing to see they've found any stacks. There's a huge ancient stack which Clinks or Tide can take. Looks like not a lot of stacks in the jungle though for the Storm to fall back on, but they haven't really had much time with how CZY and Trezam have been playing around the middle lane. One just, alright, Nevermind's just gonna drop the solo Ravage. He had some extra numbers looking to connect down bottom, but he just wanted to do it himself.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Why not? You know, the first Ravage, you can definitely afford to use it onto a support. You know, you don't need it for any kind of team fight. You're not going to want to rotate. That's the big strength of the Tidehunter. It really feels like the Timbersaw replacement right now, and that you can just park him in the lane, and there's nothing really too much that you can do about it. It's that second and third Ravage are the key ones that you need to really stamp your authority on the game.
Is under attack.
Top side, plenty of action up here.
Just attacks it Radiant. They're gonna go in aggressively. Beautiful kick from Skillay, finding the connection on both, but looks like Dreammaker, they half-assed attempt almost to defend the tower. Like, they brought the two heroes, but no one else looking to get involved. They know the Ravage on cooldown. You know, the Clinks are just farming up the jungle right now, so kind of surprised they brought some of the supports to try and defend it.
Yeah, they had the Hawk underneath the tower vision, so they were able to get rid of it, but the Hawk did its job. It saw that Rose ended up cancelling his TP, and as soon as you did that, you just leave yourself completely vulnerable. You know that there's nowhere Storm Spirit can join in, and it was immediately after that that the Earth Spirit looked to make the
structures
rotation.
are
Speaking
fortified.
of him, by the way, Skill 8 might even just die to this tower, as the glyph is used super early on to get that return kill. I mean, ooh, what we got here? Lund getting going on a little bit, but using the glyph opens up mid tower to receiving
Radiant's
a lot of
bottom
pressure,
tower
right?
is
You
under
either need to
attack.
make the choice. Is it going to be
Dire's
mid, or is it
middle
going to be a
tower
tier
is
2 that
under
you're looking to
attack.
pressure? I reckon it's still a little bit too early to be trying to take a tier 2 top tower just as this Beastmaster.
How and young PH find out the Tusker Trezam. He's not putting that statement blow onto the enemy team. It's on himself when he's dying, unfortunately. Give me a little back. Oh, hold that thought. CZY should be able to dive in with ease as well. First row of the game for Zorain. Great way to set up, and they might transition this, like you were saying. That's not the greatest way to defend the tower, though. Never mind trying to be this just guardian-esque position 3 like we see on the Tidehunter. So, you know, what's the backstory behind this, Trezam? You've been putting emphasis with that word. Is that
It's
how?
just a cool name.
Yeah, but what about in the movies? Was when he goes for the punches, Trezam, and he, like, I don't know. You got to enlighten me here.
Radiant are scanning.
Well, I mean, you're a bit of a zoomer, so like you wouldn't remember the likes of, you know, the old Batman style movies where there's like those kapow, you know, zing sort of things.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that, you know.
Okay. Did it even happen in the movie, or are you just saying it reminds you of? And...
I'm pretty sure he
Is there
says
something
Shazam, like
extra?
that's his abracadabra
For the
word.
effort.
Okay. Very. It was a Marvel, yeah.
Marvel movie?
Oh, they double smoked. Trezam, was it? No.
There's been
Shazam.
no movie
Shazam.
called Shazam.
Shazam. Sorry. Shazam.
No.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, well, poor old Lon.
Still
actually-
able to get off the Rolling Thunder.
This is
though.
not
It's
a
really
good spot now for them to fight. Oh, unless they could just.
The dudes.
I say that they've still stuck around though.
He's split in the middle.
I mean, yeah, you played great to dodge the Rolling Thunder, but young PH has got a little bit more range here with some of his extra abilities.
It was a tactical miss of the Rolling Thunder there by
Yes.
Lon, just making sure that young PH was the one to secure the last hits on those kills.
Yeah, I did mean Shazam as well. I mean, it goes to show that I definitely did not watch the movie.
Radiant's bottom tower. Attack.
It's that mid lane when started well, tailed off towards Rose's favor. Now, is honestly only 200 gold behind is the Storm Spirit. Rush the Orchid, so faster timing than what the Queen of Pain has at the
Precious
moment,
bounty.
but looking for pretty much one more creep to have the recipe completed.
I'm not sure how crazy I am
Radiant's
about the
middle
Boulder
tower
Smash being
is
the
under
thing that's
attack.
leveled up here by Earth Spirit, because you're going to have, like, if you go on a Tidehunter, he just shrugs it off. If you go on a Tusk, he can just get into the Snowball and dodge out a lot of the slow. If you go on Avenge, I mean, it kind of sucks. Storm Spirit can just zip away, and Clinkz probably isn't even going to be there, right? So I feel like you need a way to try and lock people down at this point in time, because if not, you're not going to get great value out of this Diffusal Blade, which is obviously very standard for a PL, but it's never going to farm as fast as a
Dire's
Clinkz,
top
especially
tower
now
is
that he's
under
picked
attack.
up his Dragonlance and the Maelstrom.
Yeah, you see Chidori with level 14. He's farming incredibly well at the moment. And he's looking for third item BKB. He wants to be a little bit more involved in this game, feeling like he's not going to have the space to go for another item beforehand. But for the Phantom Lancer,
Radiant's
Diffuser Blade
bottom
almost
tower
Yasha
is under
completed. So
attack.
he too will also be able to get relatively
Dire are
active. So
scanning.
all eyes on how Hal wants to be farming across the map and his patterns for the team to play with him. But here's the target of the smoke game from Dreammaker. It's not an easy way to find the start though, as looks like Hal is aware of this. They're going to run to Zarain, however.
Dire's courier must
Protect
be
himself for a short duration with the Roar. Enables for the extra help,
Nice
but
silence.
Earth Spirit a little bit too late. The timing from the silence is on point to prevent any extra damage follow-up. Now, Hal has been able to clear off the back line of the support. They'll deal with the secondary from Trezam.
Rose is kind of low. He's got plenty of mana. Although young PH, I thought maybe he might go for the Sonic Wave, but maybe he was waiting for it. If it was level 2, I think he would have made that attempt, hoping that the tick damage at the end might have been able to take him out. Now, a bit of a trivia question for you, young man.
Oh.
I know that you're not... Well, actually, there might be a kill on young PH on the top side. We'll wait for that to go down. He will end up dying. You don't know Trezam. Do you know what Chidori is a reference to?
No, I do not.
Precious bounty.
You're clearly not a weeb.
Radiant's
But
top tower is
that
under
is one
attack.
of Sasuke Uchiha's main
Dude.
moves in the Naruto
Radiant
series.
structures are fortified.
It's,
1,000 Birds, I think, is what it's called.
hang on, you're trying to give me questions here. You don't know the answer.
No, I know that it's Sasuke's move. I just think it's 1,000 Birds.
Swap back into the silence. A cute attempt here. They kind of drag him out of the burning barrage range, or at least the AoE, but nonetheless, the damage still skyrocketing. You got to be careful now, because I like how Dario playing on this top side of the map. If they get a kill, they can definitely transition this into Roche. Maybe it's taking them a little bit too long at the moment, but it's always has to be on the back of the mind.
It is. I'm honestly very surprised at how little lane pressure Zorane's putting on here. Like, yeah, they were able to take the top tower, but that wasn't him on his own. You know, that was a result of, you know, the entire team being there, diving onto a couple of supports that were left abandoned by their cores. But beyond that, I mean, I think you kind of need to make a play that forces the Tidehunter to pop a Ravage. Even if it turns out horribly for your team, you just group up and do it again, because you're not going to have that same level of survivability, and, you know, it might mean that you're able to take a mid tower and stop a Clinks from just free farming, which it feels like Chidori's doing right now.
Young PH is going to make an attempt the Sonic Wave from the tree line. See if he's got the burst with the Orchid tick out afterwards. Just not enough.
Oh, the tick, the deny.
Okay.
Give the Trezam.
I wonder if they...
Dire's middle tower is under
If
attack.
your snowball
Dire's
target
structures
dies...
are
Wait,
fortified.
what? Tide's got a Radiance. Okay. I like the build
Okay,
against the PL.
I didn't even see that. God damn, yeah, against the PL, against, hell, even like Beastmaster stuff, right?
If you're snowballing, say, like a creep or something, the creep dies, do you instantly, like, release, or do you still hold in the snowball for the full timer? I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I never die, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Okay. Very well. Oh,
Mid tower gone, which means that that
Radiant's
Roche
middle
potential
tower
is
has
even
fallen.
stronger now. There's not that instant way to be able to rejoin. Hell, even top tower is pretty damn low. It's only going to take a couple of right clicks with this Tide as beefy as he is.
this is... I mean, the fact that he's been able to get away with the Radiance blows
Dire's
my
top
mind.
tower is under attack.
They've just done nothing against how costly this item is, but around a choke
Alright, they
point.
caught the Clinks. That's
See
a
if
big
they can
deal.
take the fight. Clinks, BKB, pop, but he's not really getting anything out of the Magic community. The fight cut in half as both supports being targeted at the moment. But I feel like Yangon have to be happy with that. You wasted BKB, you get a pick off. And Tide's also a little bit low in the mana regard.
But they didn't pop Ravage, and Clink still lives. So I don't know if they're happy with that. I think if they killed the Clinks, yeah, maybe. You know, it's not like they could have even transitioned that into something else without the Ravage being popped, though. You know, and again, this is a level 14 Tidehunter, and Beastmaster's only just hit level 12. He's probably about to die, by the way, if they really wanted to. So Chidori's going to run away.
I do like how they've been able to get the Radiance, though. This is... I think PL is the biggest issue they have this game as it goes later and later. So just recognizing that we just have to itemize against him as best as possible. Skill A, they don't get the magic missile fast enough, and so Skill A is able to get the roll away. But yeah, just the recognition that we just have to do whatever we can, even if it's super greedy. If we can get away with it, and we'll itemize to deal with the win condition on Yangon. But now top
They're
lane,
going to make another attempt here, yeah.
Connecting.
Might Ravage.
might not even need it
No
though.
need.
Dude, so much damage from Rose from afar, and Chidori
Radiant's
as
top
well.
tower is under attack.
Just the barrage of damage
Radiant
that you can see
structures
come
are
through
fortified.
with so much ease. And now with this all tier 1 towers down across the map, it'll make it
Radiant's
that
top
much
tower
easier, and I
has
believe they
fallen.
pinged out Roche. They want this next objective.
Why not? You know,
Dire's
you've stamped
middle
your control on the
tower
map.
is
No
under
mid
attack.
tower, no tier 1 tower top. And the thing is, the reason he was able to get away with this Radiance and health, the reason that Clinks is able to be this farmed is that, you know, you've got an early game lineup, you've got a Beastmaster, but they've only taken one tower, you know? Like, if a Tidehunter isn't forced to go back and Ravage, you're always playing in fear that he's going to be able to show up, turn around, and make a big teamfight impact. So you do need to kind of force it out, put that big 2.5 minute cooldown.
Oh, no way he can do it. Okay, well, snatch the Aegis, so he'll get the kill. Is he going to get away with his life, though? Looks like he won't. One more right click. Blink.
Oh, okay. Very cheeky. He popped 2 healing salves during that just to make sure he could get away. Still, though, great Aegis carrier.
Oh, yeah.
Best game. So, Rose, even though, again, his lane didn't go amazingly, since then, he's made it work. You know, he's made plays around the map. He's put pressure as well on the key heroes, most importantly the Beastmaster, because they know that's the way that Yangon are going to be able to you know, potentially come back a little bit more into this game, is getting some map control.
They might burn the first life, though. Serene. Let's see if they got the damage. Jesus, never mind.
They got the damage.
Yeah, they do indeed. Top lane,
Hello,
Chidori and Tusker are actually battling it out by the triangle.
How might die here?
They've got the connection. Magic missile dodge. See if he can juke with the illusions, but he's already such low health they can target down whichever one they want to and still find him afterwards. Oh, you burnt away the Aegis, but is it worth it in the end? What is it? It's up to a 5,000 net worth lead for the side of Dreammaker. Make it 6,000 now, so continuing to have a solid performance into the mid-game Zelrain. Helm of the Overlord now completed with the Beastmaster. Definitely falling behind in regards to the last hit. Dude, tired is...
Going to Satanic.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
How are you going to
attack.
kill him? Honestly.
I mean... He's gonna need a, like... I guess you got Soul Ring and one. They're really cost-effective ways against any mana burn. Are you worried, though? Like, he won't be able to Anchor Smash as much as what he's hoping? Like, with this build?
Sure, but like, let's say you've got 0 mana. How are you going to deal damage? Like, it feels like the mana burn is the way
turn on
that you're
turn.
dealing the damage.
They started the fight on Rose. Young PH just instantly BKP'd, and now Orchid's got the backup. They have to kite the Tide. They group up for the potential Ravage. Looks like Lun would just be the sacrifice. The rest of Yangon have to be so cautious. They look to protect him. And yeah, they'll think otherwise.
Alright. In the meantime, Helm of the Overlord has been picked up, and the big black dragon is going up towards the top side just to keep that pressured out. So at least now, you might force a bit more of a defensive rotation to come through from Dreammaker here. He's just going to park the dragon up on this top side, continue to pressure the tower, and yeah, you can see here, Rose immediately makes the rotation back.
The bit... So it's a cool build that Rose has gone for with the bots. Nice position from Trezam as well. Looks like Spidey senses tingling that they were looking to make a rotation to gank him in the top lane, but a BKB already completed from the Earth Spirit means that he can roll himself to safety.
It's a costly one though.
Yep.
It's his 9-second BKB, and what happened with the dragon? Is it dead? No, it's just standing off to the left side there. So he's going to continue to keep this one pushing forward. What do you do with the space that this provides? That's the big question, right? And it's not even like, I think for now, unless they're feeling confident that they can go for kills on Yangon, which I don't think you're in that situation because Ravage is up again. But, you know, considering the fact that they've waited all this long, he's got the Satanic completed, the courier just about to reach him. But I would still look to play either anyone except the Beastmaster and maybe the PL on the bottom side of the map, though, right? Like, just keep it pushed in as much as possible. Try and make rotations towards the areas that realistically you don't actually want to be playing in, but you've either got the escape to be able to get away, and you've got the fact that your hero dies isn't really going to lose you the game. So I would probably say skill A, once he gets that BKB up next, he just needs to put himself in that bot lane and keep it shoved out as much as he can.
it's nice that they have both supports that can fulfill that role, but big issue is the fact that this is your position 4 Venge, who now has an Aghanim Scepter completed, so can just
Oh, cool.
fulfill the role of what we... It's just, your reaction is just... It's exactly, I feel like, what everyone feels like whenever they see this item picked up on Venge. I mean, it's just a crazy concept.
Mm-hmm. Like, who do you even go on? You basically have to go on...
Go for me. Here I am.
Radiant's top tower is under
Shidori trying to lead the charge with the Gleipnir. Oh, Tuska's even got the... Oh, he's got the long boy. How do we miss that one?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's got the Ag
Oh, he's got
shot.
the long boy?
Yeah,
Alright. I don't hate it.
CZ I mean, he's got the Aghanims. He might just turn it back on them if the team can come through, but they're a little bit preoccupied at the moment. Young PH. Try and get himself away, blink up in a couple of seconds. He'll get a kill before he does. It's cost them a lot to get these kills, though, from the supports.
It's a heavy commitment, you know, like similar to the Ravage, now you don't have Sonic Wave for the next 2 minutes, and you're not really quite as worried about, you know, anyone being able to turn around onto you. So I think you can look to make a really aggressive positioning here on Dreammaker. Just continuously push this wave in. You can see Skill 8, he's kind of doing what I was saying before, right? Just trying to push this wave out as much as possible, realizing that he's got the BKB, he's got a TP, he's got the Rolling Boulder with the Rolling Boulder distance talent. So at least, you know, it forces the tide down here, but I mean, he's just so farmed that he's going to be able to take it out in no time at all.
Do you like the fact that he went the gush damage? Like, he's already going to have mana issues, I feel. I'm surprised he just didn't go into the full sustain almost and just unkillable mode with the Anchor Smash damage.
I mean, I feel like they've got the
Radiant's
synergy,
middle
right?
tower
Clinks,
is under attack.
Venge, even just the tag team. So stupid. It's so stupid, man.
Well, they killed How off the top side. It's just, those supports just got ripped apart. And now they can turn their attention to the illusion of the Venge. So we will see there's a silly concept coming into play. I believe that was Rose and Chidori that was able to find a big kill on How. They're also looking to catch out Skill A as well. So Rose suffered in the laning stage, but he has very, very well and truly put a little bit of revenge into this game.
And I just walked all the way from the bottom lane to secure that kill. Didn't even opt to push the wave underneath the tower. So it does give young PH a little bit of farm to potentially come back into this. I don't think Shivas is going to be the saving grace for yourself. Maybe just seeing how easily they're able to kill off the PL when Clinks is able to get a free burning barrage onto him. But
Worthy tribute.
I feel like you need probably an item that's going to create a little bit more impact than that. Sheepstick, I guess, would probably be my item of choice coming from young PH. Speaking of him,
again, has to pop the BKB, incredibly defensive. Storm's wasted a lot of his mana pool right now, but still has enough to get out to safety. Onto the back line. They're going to pivot to try and deal with the Tusk once again. He's stacked up to his 11th death of the game. And also the secondary support. Dreammaker, they like giving away a couple of freebies on their heroes. I mean, the Venge, you know, of course, doesn't mind with the items, but get nothing out of it, then you still don't want to be dying like that.
Tier 2's gone, though, on the bot side, so... Again, we have to keep this in mind. This is a Beastmaster draft that at 28 minutes has taken 1 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower
Not good.
is under attack.
Gonna make another attempt, bros.
They don't have BKB.
Got the Raw Chain locked down. Able to follow up with Lun. Just one pop of the Rolling Thunder is enough. They have to kite the Tide Hunter, though. They've got big issues with how they can play into him. They're just looking to avoid him, deal with much mana as possible. And the Long Boy actually not gonna help out in their favor.
So
just... Skill A... Is Lun actually... Okay, he's got the shard. Still might be in trouble. For anyone that's not aware, for some reason Danog likes to call the Aghanim shard for Tusk Longboy, so if anyone hasn't caught up with that right now,
There's nothing wrong with it.
Like you're emphasizing Trezam's name, and now you
Radiant's
emphasizing
top scanning.
his.
You're targeting me
top tower
specifically
is
for having a
under
little bit of fun. Are you the fun police?
No, sir. No, not the fun police. Keep going. You just. You look into.
First, you don't know Sasuke Uchiha,
Dude,
then the
what?
long
That's.
boy.
Hang on, I'm not the one that
Dire's
didn't know the
middle
long
tower
boy.
has been denied.
I'm saying that. Dude, Tide's
You're
got
not respecting the long boy.
dude, Tide's not respecting them. He's got 5,600 gold.
Yeah. See, like he had a blink dagger queued up for a long time. What to go for?
I think.
Honestly, like Deso Agshard wouldn't be that bad. Just to help with pushing these towers even further.
I wouldn't even hate if he goes like overwhelming blink.
Yeah. Totally cool too. Even Arcane Blink is fine.
Yeah. I think usually I'd like the Arcane on Tide, but against the Phantom Lancer, if you really feel like he's your biggest issue, which I feel like he is, then just going. There's many items to deal with him. He's even, my god, he's even got Cloak of Flames. Poof. That's, I mean, naturally just 105 damage over time.
He just needs to exist.
Dude,
at
can
this
they
point.
kill him? I don't know,
Maybe.
man. That's gonna take them a long time. Maybe they can burn the men up, but
Is under attack.
they just stand
Not
all
if you
still
ravage
for a
that many.
3-man ravage. Young PH would just get the blink
Hold on,
away.
boys.
Now they can turn it back around as long rolling on forward, causing chaos, but they haven't got on top of Chidori. It's a burning barrage, ripping them apart. Finally, the Tide will fall, swap away, but still, they got the Roar just at the last second before the swap. The Dive Bomb as well, enough to claim the kill. How picks up a triple and an Ultra now as well, as they tried to itemize to deal with the Phantom Lancer, but it's obviously not enough.
Yeah, he's been able, with all that time, been able to finish up the heart, and what do you know, Roche just ended up respawning, so a little bit of luck going his way. I think look to... Does everyone have an Aghanim shard so far? No, Quap and Earth Spirit don't have it just yet. Honestly, value on both of them, but probably look to give it over to the Quap, just for that little bit of an extra burst. The silence onto a Storm Spirit might force him to go into a BKB rather than this Aghanim Scepter.
Has fallen to the Radiant.
Oh,
Alright, Skille's getting it.
okay.
4 more remnants is always good.
Bottom lane. So I'm just gonna tap the TP out. Roll! Just shy. I don't know how I feel about the Earth Spirit shard. Like, Queen of Pains has got a nut shard. Did he go?
Yeah, especially when they're not going Blink Dagger, you know?
Yeah.
On a Storm Spirit.
Of pain is the best teacher.
I mean, in 25, that -2-second blink cooldown, if you go for that, you have a ridiculous amount of control, not only with Orchid, but then with the Aghanim shard as well. Of course, it's got to be said, like you brought up before as well, Earth Spirit shard, it's really, really strong as well. And Skille's been getting a decent amount of farm as well on the Earth Spirit. I mean, he's working on the Aghanim Scepter. He's got about just under 800 gold to go till this one's completed. So this is, what do you feel like this will provide Yangon? Like, what's the reasoning for him to go this item this game?
I mean, I think he just needs to kind of play, it's going to be hard from the support role, but play a similar type of game that we saw Yopaj do last time. You know, even though they won that last fight, it feels like, you know, the one little saving grace for them. I mean, just have a look at the win probability. It's changed it a fair amount from whatever that is, 85, 90%, up to 65, let's say. But, I mean, it's a huge swing that's happened once this game. Everything else has basically been all Dreammaker. So they just need to continuously put the pressure on, keep taking towers, keep trying to put some pressure on the other side of the map. And, you know, while he's got the BKB, he's got Blast Rig as well, which is going to prevent against a lot of this physical damage that they do have. And now as well, just the increased charges means that you can be constantly rolling around the map.
We'll see if he's able to find the Aghanim Scepter at a timing here, but I feel like Yangon, that's got to give them incredible amount of confidence now, that previous team fight. You've got the Aegis control as well. PL is about over halfway towards the Ice Guardy, which is going to make it that much more difficult to bring him down. And
To me, the big timing to come is probably, of course, the Aghanim Scepter on the Earth Spirit, but Skadi coming soon on PL, like you just mentioned, but level 20 on Beastmaster. That's the big thing for mine. Just having the 30-second lower duration on the Primal Roar,
Sure.
bringing it to 40 seconds is kind of nuts.
Yep. Alright, he's got the blink now, so we'll see how he can find the angle into the fight. It's definitely not going to be easy with the... I mean, Shazam's got 12 deaths, but if he can ever get to this blink stage, you not only have the Venge swap, which is getting closer to also level 18, so extra cast range is going to be really nice for him. I still forgot, man. Wait, I still forgot the damage reduction from Nether Swap. Hang on a second.
Yeah, like he's been using it really effectively every single team fight. Most notably on the Storm, there have been a couple of times where Quap probably could have got the kill with the Orchid onto him without his BKB plus the Sonic Wave and the tick damage, but just negating so much of the damage.
Dude, Venge is so stupid.
Yep.
Venge is so stupid. That's going to be, what, 50 for 3?
Mm-hmm.
And it can be on a 15-second cooldown as well with a 20 taunt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Dude, what a crazy hero. I mean, this is your position 4 as well. Who does have to be said. I don't know how comfortable CZY is on the Venge. It feels like you don't mind dying on this hero, but there are some deaths where it doesn't get anything out of it. Like there were multiple mid lane where like he had no one nearby just to even use that illusion and it just died instantly. So I wonder if he just, maybe not as confident on what he needs to be doing. Yeah, but...
And there have been a couple of times where he's been roaming around solo with the Tusk as well, and no one else really remotely close.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you've got the Storm Spirit that can zip in, but I feel like you need the Tide Hunter there with you as well, minimum.
Are you still worried that PL late game should be unstoppable? Or do you feel like Dreammaker have recognized with their items and should be able to deal with this? Chidori? BKB pop? That doesn't matter! Oh, you deserve tips!
That is tip-worthy right
Oh,
there.
yeah. I mean, do they siege? You've got Aegis for another 3 minutes. Meanwhile, mid lane, an assassination of the Venge, but he can play around with Illusion with the help of the backup as well. Lockdown's not there. One's just a little bit late with the Rolling Thunder. Oh, this Agshot actually might make it difficult to get out. Wait, he's going in?
I don't think they pair all that much. They're just keeping on pushing top. They're creating so much space.
Tier 3 almost down. A long zip in from Rose. Hal's going to try and protect the Beastmaster, but a great use of the Ravage will give them an opportunity to kill with Zorain. But now Rose is completely burnt to the mana. Needs some assistance, but will get nothing. As now the rest of Dreammaker just have to hope that they can retreat back to safety, but Hal's not going to give them the opportunity. We'll target down the Tuskar next. The Tide... They've got no mana. How are you going to constantly spam up the Anchor Smash? You can use one with the Soul Ring, but a tier 3 tower down, they now have to rely on the buybacks to mount some defense. But Tide is... We're still standing his ground a respectable amount here. They need to just avoid him and deal with the supports, which they're trying to target at the moment. A long zip in, Rose, buyback coming into the fray, but they burnt through the Tusk, they burnt through the Venge, and now they can kill off the Tide Hunter as well. Your itemization does nothing to keep you alive.
He's holding on to a lot of gold as well. I mean, I don't think you want to be using this buyback on the Tide Hunter. You essentially have to just give up this lane of Rax. You're not going to have the Ravage, you don't have the other heroes to be able to support your continuous push forward, and it would just delay your overwhelming blink by far too much.
Another 2 minutes on the Aegis.
That's level 25 PL as well, let's not forget about that.
Oh yeah. What is it, a 6-second doppelganger cooldown now, and they're looking to also... Wait, didn't Rose just buy back?
Here I am.
Oh my god. They have... Okay, poor Lun. Not gonna find the angle in.
Double damage.
Well, The Storm will at least make it out, but costs him a lot of space here. It's also going to delay his next item timings. What do we feel like Dreammaker can do to bring themselves back into this game, though? Because they've given over a hefty net worth lead.
It's actually giving their Yangon the win probability at this point. Good question. Level 25 on the Clinks is going to help with that extra death pack health and damage coming through there.
Dire's bottom tower.
It's almost worth considering, like, I mean, Tidehunter's gone full into being a full-on core, but I wonder if Helm of the Overlord might be the way to go for them.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Providing a whole lot of extra stats. Again, it still does take a while for the Tidehunter to die, so you're going to get a lot of the value out of that aura. You can get something like the Ancient Granite Golem to provide an extra 15% HP, which is always going to be really effective.
Young PH. See if he can get the BKB off and the chain lockdown's perfect. That it is. Sided Dreammaker. Cut him off in the river. Also gonna look to try and get more out of it. Oh, Rose? Okay. They will catch out the Beastmaster, so another nice pick off for them to find. 2 down. Don't have buybacks.
Lun is inside the base.
My dude's going. Is he go? Oh, TP's on cooldown. I believe the Venge must have stopped that with swap, so he's gonna have to try and make as much space as possible. I mean, if you brought 5 heroes there, I don't know what else your team's getting on the map, but a little bit of time.
Mission accomplished.
Alright, well, you were speaking about how they can come back in, you know, 3 pickoffs like that, minimizing the lead that Yangon had, but time for some tier 4 neutral items, which being the first one picked up for the side of Dire.
Is it good? I mean, it's going to be nice to be able to stop the Orchid at least, and at least now Storm Spirit's finally picked up his BKB. There's no reason to hold on to the, I think it was 4,500 gold that he had at the time after using the buyback, so at least he's got some kind of defensive capabilities now, and also hitting onto his level 25 with the Overload bounce.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Skill A just forced to pop the BKB meters. Dreammakers making an aggressive attempt to him. That gives them enough time to take the tier 2 tower, so Ha's continuing to be the big issue that they need to identify as this game goes on. Top of the net worth, Chidori neck and neck with him at the moment.
Now, at least the Tidehunter has some kind of way to deal with a PL. Doesn't matter if you've got the mana burn with the new level 25 talent. No more incredibly high amount of damage that you get. Instead, all you need to do is right click, and most of the time you're going to get that anchor smash off.
Even Clinks has got his, Storm's got his 25, so very high experience at the moment on Dial, and like showing in the graphs as well. See how that can come into fruition. Are there any...
I mean, he's getting close to his buyback, I suppose. I wonder if Tide's going to look to hold on to that, or if he's going to finish this overwhelming blink. He's already got the Reaver, it's sitting in his backpack. I really want to see that leveler put onto him as well, just for the extra attack speed.
Starting the fight on Earth Spirit, skill A. Enough time for him to get the BKB. I don't know if you can roll into Chidori here. You see how much damage he does just with all the skeletons laid on the ground. The undead army would just blow up Lund there.
Gonna need to see Nevermind put that Reaver in his actual item slots, probably ahead of the Magic Wand. I know it's important against a PL, but not so much now that you got the level 25. But yeah, Leveler on the Tidehunter. He's got the Anchor Smash as well, so all of that bonus building damage that he's able to do, crazy effective.
There we go. Overwhelming Blink. He's even holding the Leveler, so more synergy with that 25 talent as well. How close are we to some of the other ones? Quite, about a quarter away. He's also got the Spell Prism as well, so a nice neutral item for him to hold. Are there any broken ones you feel like might kind of turn the tide here? 40 minutes in.
Tier 4s, the aesthetics cap isn't that bad, especially on someone like the Quap. I know that the Spirit Vessel is insane, of course, but just to be able to provide yourself a guaranteed way to get out a lot of these kill attempts, it's like a mini Aeon disc, basically. It's going to be really effective.
Zip.
Might be worth it on the Earth Spirit. Yeah, so he stopped holding onto the Blast Rig, changed it up.
Radiant wanting to take the fight down, but they know Rose used all of his mana, so he was forced to TP back to base. But simultaneously, Zorain
Ravage there.
just getting out to safety.
And that is a Chrysalis now picked up by Nevermind here on his Tide Hunter. He's going to look to go into the Daedalus. Again, more crits, never a bad thing. Got to remember, though, can't crit buildings. So I'm sure after that he might be looking to go into something like a Desolator.
They're smoked up behind Rose. Looking for a route into the fight. Might be able to find it. Rose still not up for another minute here.
Now over here.
Just reveal their hands to the Helm of the Overlord and look to reset. Wait, Zorain? Are they feeling content to take the fight right now? They don't have the greatest vision on Radiant.
They don't. They do have the Hawk, though, that they can send down at any point. Beastmaster's also got his Aghanim Shard as well, so the dive bomb is available.
Radiant's
Now they've got a great ward. See Nevermind in the back line. They're gonna bait the haste. Oh, the smoke just popped. Chidori. They're gonna start on young BH with the Lincolns. Gonna be popped down with a Ravage. It's a huge one from the Tide Hunter, but they haven't caught out how. They'll solo down the Earth Spirit with the instant buyback coming into the fray, but maybe the ultimates weren't enough to turn the fray for Dire. They're going to try and target down Rose to the southern side of the team fight there, but to burst him down with ease. And then with the buybacks, it's not enough as they can target through triple once again for Hal. And it's all Yangon Galacticos. So looking to get a little bit of revenge is Rose. He bought back. Might find the kill with the help of Chidori. Still going to be careful with his own positioning. A mass commitment for the buybacks as Yangon still have 5.
Forcing the buyback out of Zorain, at least. He TP'd to the outpost for whatever reason, and is just going to continue running up towards the Roche pit. But I wonder if this means that they might even look to give the Aegis over to the Beastmaster, considering he's one of the few people that doesn't have buyback.
Let's see. What do we got as well? It's Aghanim Scepter. Okay.
Roshan has fallen to the ring.
Who's taking this bad boy? How? Okay, well, he's got the Aegis and the Scepter.
Radiant's bottom tower
I'm
is
still
under
yet
attack.
to see this for quite some time, so I really don't know how good this is.
It creates a lot of chaos. You know,
Yeah.
you don't need to wait up for the ramp up, I suppose, but when you've started it, it creates a good thing for the Tide Hunter to be able to go on, I guess.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It still seems a little bit weird to me. I mean, who else could they have given it to? Maybe the Quap?
Yeah, I mean, Pango doesn't have the items to utilize it. Spirit's
I feel
already
like
got
Dire's
his.
middle tower
The
is
reason
under attack.
for mine for being the Quap is just like it would make essentially all of your cooldowns like
Dire's middle
around
tower
40
has
seconds,
fallen.
with the exception of the Rolling Thunder, right?
Yep.
For ultimates. So you can just continue to be active, continue to pressure, and then if there's a single bad Ravage used, you can heavily punish.
What is the key target for Dreammaker in these fights? We've seen some solid Ravages, but it doesn't seem to be netting them teamfight victories. So who do they need to target to bring down? What's the key component?
I think they got to kill Zorain first. A, he just bought back. B, he's got the Helm of the Overlord. And C, you've got the Inner Beast or a win that's combined with a PL. Like, those three things just seem like things that you absolutely need to remove from consideration. And it'll seriously hinder the effectiveness of a lot of these team fights. And that's not even, you know, taking into account a BKB piercing ultimate.
Ooh. Well, we got a win condition now from Dreammaker. That is a
You also got a
divine.
lose condition from them.
Well, man, that's a way to look at it. It's either the
He's gonna run into
Are
who though?
scanning.
They're smoked right in the
Radiant
middle
are
of
scanning.
Oh
Chidori.
no,
they
dude, he
get to
just
stand
bought
off.
Rapier. Oh no, Chidori! He's got Lincolns, dude, look at the damage.
He rolled the
Assistance is
Lincolns.
flying through. Did they
Oh, he
kill
saved
him?
him.
With the Orchid? He's back up to full! Chidori still. Let's see if they can try and target down the Clinks. The yours is out with the Rolling Thunder. Clinks is falling. Lincolns, not enough. Rapier on the deck. Someone needs to pick it up. Storm trying to do so. Zip away. The Protector Rapier, but what's the cost? 3 down, never mind. Cannot TP out as well. The answer's there thanks to the Abyssal Blade, and he's beefy. He's takey. He can make him work for it. I don't think he can stay alive though. He's trying to play
I don't know,
around
man.
with the
He just needs to
25.
Keep attacking.
Keep attacking,
stunned
keep
or
doing whatever you
disarmed.
can. Rose is back in. He's gonna be careful because he bought back previously.
He's pulled the rapier.
Oh, they don't care about it. Wait. He just came away the rapier. And now they'll kill off the Tide. Let's just avoid him, go for the target with the rapier. Let's give him no buyback opportunity. Let's kill the Tide as well. What's going on?
I mean, now that you have the rapier, now you can kill the Tide Hunter.
Dude. Oh no, that's game.
That's game.
Yangon. Man, what a
I was
performance.
sweating for a while. You know, the Dreammaker looked like they made the best of the laning stage. They got nowhere near enough done in the early game with this Beastmaster, but they were somehow able to pull it back. That one team fight, Ultra Kill, being given over to Hao, the new addition to the Yangon Galacticos roster, and he's looking pretty damn solid. If I'm being honest, you know, he's his positioning in team fights always there just to avoid right on the edge of the Ravage usages, meaning that he can always get the maximum effectiveness out of it. And now, unfortunately for Dreammaker and their fans, they weren't able to pull it out.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a bit of a topsy-turvy game that we had through for game one. I mean, it got to a stage where Dreammaker had about a 13,000 net worth lead, and well, you're the glass half full or glass empty type of guy. I say it was the potential win condition. You said it was a potential lose condition, and well, the rapier they didn't keep it in their hands for too long there. Unfortunately, Rose gave it over to Yangon as well, and well, that was pretty much just the nail in the coffin.
That was huge by Skille, though. Like, Beastmaster was on literally about 50 HP, and he enchants him, kicks him away, makes it so that the Beastmaster survives. Remember, this was the Beastmaster with Gem, Helm of the Overlord, Inner Beast Aura, and a BKB Piercing Disable. Even though he used that BKB Piercing Disable on a Lincolns, it was still enough that they Skille ended up paying with his life, but it net Yangon the win.
That it did indeed, and Dreammaker, they attempted the rapier to be able to bring them back in some opportunity. They recognized the big issue of the Phantom Lancer late game, but like you said, the new addition Hal with the Phantom Lancer was just too much to deal with. 17-3 and 10 overall, and even though they tried with this cute itemization from the Tide Hunter, it just wasn't enough as PL reigns supreme and Yangon Galacticos, the battle of the both open qualified team. They're going to take game one here in our best of two. We'll see if they can continue with the momentum into our second game.